InShalla and Ashe. Blessings to you, my energetic beings. Holistic she medium and subtle energetic surgeon here, Tonya D. And it's Sunday Fun Day, October 17th, 2021. This is a day of like equality in our relationships, that relationship paradigm that's been switching and flipping and changing. It's kind of a day to reflect while still shifting this perspective of how we see the world, society, future possibilities, those endless, unlimited future possibilities. So if you were to look to where you have been now and see where you have been over, or where you've come from, or where you've come from over the past year, just all the growth that we've experienced, I would say has been actually otherworldly. I just noticed I had my card there. There we go. But knowing that this transformation in the world of power is in effect, right? So we have this Young Earth Dog Day, and you can see our month branch has that same exact influential energy. So if you could remember what your day was like on or around October 8th, that's when this switched to this new month branch, this Oooooo branch. There's lots of this Young Earth on the stems and even in those branches. With yin energy is hidden in storage, water in the year, and metal in all of the branches is actually hidden. And fire itself is actually in storage. So that would be kind of like warming coals, at the end of the fire when the coals are kind of brimming or burning and sparkling, or the kindling of a really low burning fire. So we really need nature, lots of nature, and also some water. So our day is this very strong Gaia day or earthen day. It's rocky earth or dry earth or a desert feeling, kind of barren, no earth, no growth, I mean. So water or nature, or both actually, would be the element to bring into the earth plane. It's kind of like yesterday when I was talking about a cat kind of purring and kneading the soil, resurfacing the dry soil, aerating the soil. It really feels like a desert, really. But we're on a Grandmaster Day of Libra, in the season of Libra, as we're cascading into the full moon, which I'm going to finish today. So be sure to find that in your inbox. But it's just making it this pure, vital energy day, a day of refining what our relationships actually will be in the future, or fine-tuning them, what they are to you on the inside and also on the outside. So it's a day really of relaxation, finding our inner peace. Our feelings are going to grow in ways that flow organically, be more freely, or we can just open that door to receive. Just know when feelings don't flow freely, we create adversity in our bodies, in our communication, even in our community and also our village. So it's not a day to push ourselves to do something that you really don't want to do. I would absolutely and always open up to receive messages from the galactic core, the universe, be in a relaxed state, be in a peace of mind. And once you've organically found your peace or are at peace, your inner stillness, your peace, go out into the future and those unlimited possibilities and feel what you feel, and contemplate them. Frequent the feelings, the energy, even an idea of what you sense relationships could actually be in the future, whether it's with somebody intimately or relationships within career, relationships in your home with your children, a new service, and just really be in the flow to seek the balance, find the harmony, the joy, and how that might look for you out into the future, not just in the day-to-day. So it's like, how does that future feel as you observe it in your observation station? If it feels balanced and in harmony, or if your heart feels or is kind of longing for a futuristic option or an option that is actually futuristic, then the choice is right, If it's right and it feels to you, it's in the flow. If it feels right and your heart belongs in the narrative, in the space. So when the energy is in the flow, the feelings you feel will be safe. You're going to feel excited. Your inner child becomes creative in this positive octave flowing kind of way. It kind of resonates differently, maybe unfamiliar. That's why the excitement's there. So if you could utilize this energy in a more positive way, feeling into the way that you feel on the inside, and then it resonates with vibrations of this future reality, your future self. Then you're kind of able to feel into it and know what truly belongs in your life and what you need to kind of wait on, or even what no longer belongs in your life, really. Relationships, sometimes we outgrow them and we don't belong there anymore. Or somebody, they might outgrow us. It works both ways, right? So it's really kind of baby steps. So part of getting in the flow and growth up this cosmic ladder of consciousness, that's just part of it. So it's this magical day to climb into that cosmic observation station. Both feelings, all the endless possibilities placed literally on the table, and observe the joy, observe the excitement inside of you, and also what you feel. So it's important that we allow that aspect in our heart center, to tend to our inner child and take the path that's actually least resistant or no adversity. I'm thinking of forces of adversity, challenges inside of us. So our feelings are going to be our guide as we explore these unlimited options, whatever that is for you. It's our prime directive. It's our heart. Our heart, it will literally, we're going to want to take it up a gear. Your feelings will know what gear to literally take that up to when you're like shifting gears, right? So just don't go too far. Kind of, you could even coast right in, like when you push in the clutch and you put the vehicle in neutral and the car coasts. I like that. So really relax and restore while opening up the door at the same time, feeling into those future choices at the same time in those relationships. So this is the most creative day of this given cycle, or any kind of for the whole year, really. So it's this capacity to create. It's this altered octave. So it would be an amazing idea to channel all these energies into whatever creative project that you've actually been working on, creative participation. If you're an artist or a musician, things are going to flow a lot easier today. So just be creative in what you're planning for your future. And listen to your heart. Take notes, if you will. Take heart notes, heartfelt notes, and replace negative energy with positive energy, calming our nervous system and restoring ourselves to the frequency of love, feeling into spiritual kind of ascension or awakening a channel. So our throat center is online. So it's really any shade of blue, from the galactic sky to the earthly oceans, the rivers and the streams. It's really whatever shade creates a juicy feeling in your heart center, like creates the juice, the excitement. So it's really also a magical day to put all of what you have collected this season about your relationships, including the one that you actually have with yourself and the ones that you've let go. You've let them go into, their daily rhythm. If you're single, are you happy with how you have shown up in your relationships? Just glow and flow and see really what comes up. Or even like, where can you bring yourself balance, and begin journaling all of your responses to bring yourself more clarity. And just know, as you create with your heart, other people in your village might challenge you with their own control issues. Maybe they're feel like they're losing control. And also, on the other hand, you might be preventing yourself with your own control issues too. So just keep your heart open, and your journal as well, and just be open and focus on what you really want to create, and allow your heart to lead the way. So follow with heart. We all know that thoughts become things. So our mind sometimes might support us to face the false evidence that appears or is affecting our reality, our fears. So know that you are stronger than you might actually realize, and it's time to really recalibrate our mind to actually think so as well, and create those possibilities, those endless streaming possibilities. The seed sound, we're in the season of Libra. It's this higher octave, with it being the day and the season. It's the home. I have these in the show notes, so you can go for sure check them out. But it's a dually today, because it's the day energy and it's also the energy of the season. So our self-expression is ready and it's actually willing to express. I would also bring in the sounds of water and nature, the of blowing out a candle sound. I never know if you can hear me or not. I should probably re-listen to myself. And also shh, shh, like we do when somebody's otherworldly noisy. But I pulled 3 cards today. You actually saw one. I went with the Cosmic Ascension deck, the Cosmic Highway. I feel like we're kind of in that space. So we have the Sirius initiation first, communication. So the Sirians have this deep connection to humanity. They've evolved the mental and the emotional, kind of the balance, which I found it was curious because we're in the season of Libra. Libra is balance, it's relationships, it's fairness, it's harmony. It's just like being fair, like wholeheartedly, the harmonics of balancing the scales. But they've evolved this and they see this broader picture, and it doesn't lose the equilibrium with any emotional turbulence or energetic hiccups. So they've created this with the long term in mind, the future. The present moment is this catalyst that we could utilize for new creation. So this kind of soothes the heart's flow into a depth of understanding, and it builds upon the energy of the Lyrans. So they focus forward, like into the future, towards the change and also the progress. And they assist us in initiation through our mental and our emotional balancings. That maintains the focus. Our third eye pops in, being to bring this potential that's actually kind of birthing through us, opening us to our core of our wisdom, our innate wisdom that evolves as we begin to use the universal laws of creation. If you've noticed, maybe you haven't noticed, I post them on my What's Up Tonya D page, if you've checked that out. But the laws of creation. So with this card, we're kind of receiving this otherworldly amounts of information kind of subconsciously, getting these downloads. And our bodies interpret and categorizes vibration, information, and files it sometimes away for future use. And communication in itself, communication is both verbal and nonverbal. I use a lot of symbols in communication, emojis basically. So we are capable of reading intention that indicates truth that's not always present through words and actions, through vibration, frequency, sounds, etc. So it's important to just become aware and learn to trust our instincts, whether they're gut instincts, they're claircognizant, knowingness. As a majority of, communication is literally, it's unspoken. It's the unspoken word. It's the inside voice. So with this, our empowerment really builds as we learn to kind of communicate more authentically. So with this card, it's kind of asking us to look at the intent of what we ourselves or even others are communicating. As we become more authentic in the voice, our communication, that's when we then release these burdens of depending on others to communicate well so that we can feel good. It's all in the, it generally, it creates triggers. But you're going to know, then you're going to know when it's the wisdom choice to speak or awesome to be silent, the voice of silence as well. So when you do this, you're going to have less of a need to be viewed as always being right by others. You're kind of like taking the breath and the pause. I talk about that all the time. But you'll find yourself actually forgiving more easily and actually associating with people or circumstances that are really in line with your own integrity. One of my go-to words. So those that don't will kind of, that's going to be like a temporary experience, like a little flaw, if you will. It's not even a gnat. But the light language is really opening us up to a deeper communication with ourselves and with life, supporting our release with our patterns of suppression. So the Sirians are assisting us to open our power of deeper communication to improve life itself in our container, in our vessel. So just kind of notice your authentic intention behind your words and really observe the silent communication between others to kind of hone in on your personal intuitive skills. We all have them. And communicate more in a compassionate and also a supportive way. Don't avoid confrontation at the expense of your own inner empowerment. And I would just say out loud, I communicate authentically with myself and also with others. So then I also pulled the pain card, Orion, releasing. So we go from this initiating communication, authentic communication, to releasing, of all things, pain. So, the Orions, they have this, Orions, sorry, like Orions. I'm feeling like an Oreo cookie. I don't know, maybe I'm thinking of them, but they have this powerful transformation. It's probably the most dramatic of all the races, from the deeper pains and separations in which they found kind of redemption and also a connection. So many of the dramas and the traumas on earth are really souls healing from this experience. At the core of the Orion experience was this powerlessness of victimhood and shame, or the dominion, and the energy that magnifies that. So within this information is a deeper truth that expands life through the free will choice of unconditional compassion, the universal flow that really initiates new creation out into the God channel. That's kind of how I see it. So it's this powerful catalyst for change emerging, and it's the courage to heal, and that's assisting all of humanity to grow in a natural, organic connection that actually elevates and escalates life. So we often resist our painful energies that are really, they're a direct path to improvement. Similar to soil that's been moved, when it becomes aerated and then it becomes ripe for growth, ripe for like the planting of the seeds. The Orions kind of assist us to become a clear vessel for joyful creation, the creation of life. This totally goes with the energy of today. So pain, it might not be easy to deal with, even though we find ourselves opening to an empowerment. You're going to find it a lot easier to kind of process through. So pain will show us our imbalance, whether it's physical, emotional, mental, or even spiritual. Within the depths of the pain, I see on my cowrie shells, I'm seeing the water area on my cloth, but it's this ability to compel transformation, which, it's always a choice. So there's there's a like-minded issue, that some often we contend with. Typically, pain will surface after an imbalance has literally been occurring for a while. It has to go through all of our energetic fields before it lands in the body. So pain can also be an indication that our body, it's that alert signal, it's signaling us to support our own inner healing process. With basically, the balance of being, my online program, it's part of my energetic super bundle. All those things, it's rest, it's nutrition, it's exercise. And sometimes, we have to bring in the medical attention as well. Some things, are energetic, and then they're stirring up things in the physical, where sometimes a baby aspirin is like our cure-all. But just being wise to our own attention, to our own body, and the resources that are really available, whether it's energetic or physical, same thing, energy, matter, to kind of expedite our healing. So this card is assigned to find a way that is new or different to move through our pain, and find activities and people that actually support your own flow of this change, this transformation. So I like to look at pain as a teacher that's kind of nurturing us towards improvement with greater love and of ourself, and being a teacher as well as, being the gifted student, like you get the memo. So you've not failed at creating the positive. Your body has chosen progress in life, just looking through it through different eyes. So the language of this card, it's inspiriting or inspiring, but I like inspiriting. It's inspiriting change that can assist us to release our pains and empower our creative abilities to transform. And again, it resonates with the energy of today, where we're discovering our ability to improve with joy over challenge. So really support your body with better nutrition, exercise, rest, and absolutely play. Have some fun. Definitely do that. And your own kind of fun. We all have our idea of what fun is. And know that you're capable of sustaining change. find music or support that really assists you to move through various emotions safely. And seek outside help for your pain if you need to. And be patient with improvement as it builds through time and space integration. You could affirm, I am transforming with grace and ease, even through peace, right? So the last card, which I had showing first, compassion. We end with compassion, the final card. So the Pleiades system is of expanding. So they're really our closest ancestors. Lots of indigenous cultures all over the world, they've referenced the Pleiadian goddesses that seeded them, nurtured them, made sure they were capable of sustaining life themselves. So it's this expansion of our potentials as we move into alignment with universal connection. So their journey, like every galactic race from the Lyran seed, was from separation into polarity and then into integration. So they had one of the most rapid, but yet the most easiest of journeys through space and time. So their energy really creates this empowered individual that's really ready to fly, and not just fly, but fly freely. And we're all born with infinite potential. Potential cannot be stopped because time keeps flowing through this physical journey towards the core of that universal connection. Like, we are connected. Whenever you feel less than, just say it out loud. I am connected. You could look at the sky. That's kind of what I do. But they're reminding us that we are divine at our core, our divine pathway, and that we are fully capable of expanding into our dive intuity, our divine potential in our physical human form. So it's similar to how parents who are balanced, they nurture their children to grow as an empowered individual or person, but they also know that it's a lot of patience and love. And also, it's the courage to release or let go at the appropriate age or stage as well. So compassion is like this empowered space of understanding. It's not a weak agreement to a bad treatment, though. So compassion is really seeing through the filter of love, the eyes of love, the filtering of it, even when the situation calls for, discerning when to say no, when to walk away, when to stand up for ourselves, or literally when to say nothing. So the Pleiadians discovered that compassion must serve the expansion of love over time and space, not the ease in the moment, the day-to-day reality of it. So this really requires a lot of courage. It involves choosing like internal improvement for growth. Even if a moment in time is challenging, it's much more courageous than continuing within a dysfunctional pattern, breaking the threads. So being compassionate to ourselves is going to naturally just lend over a helping hand, to be compassionate for others as well. So compassion for self radiates out to compassion for others. So we teach by our own powerful action of living with our own inner grace, the grace field, the grace channel. So those of us who are compassionate have this deep-seated power within us. So the card is kind of asking us to increase our compassion for ourselves by setting those boundaries that serve our interactions with life instead of building walls that separate us. So we become a living example of safety and wisdom within our own beingness, and then our love flows easily through the waters and the energies of life. And compassion for others from this space is actually more empowering because it's serving all of humanity, all of the world. So the language in the card, the light language, it's kind of assisting us to kind of discern support that serves kind of empowerment and release fears of rejection or abandonment. So it's empowering us to love ourselves and others towards improvement, like send them love, cascade the love as they're improving, the juicy love, and choose to support yourself too, and even others in ways that actually are nurturing to the growth, the energy, ground into nature, nurture, and see all beings, every being as a powerful, or even if they appear weak in the moment, just see everyone as a powerful essence of their authentic self. You know, there really are no wrong choices. Each path just offers a different improvement, a different pathway to go. And just be patient, you know, with changes in yourself and also with others. I always recognize a change as a growth period. That's, I also see them as triggers. So, you know, it's a part of it is holding your boundaries with the courage that serves your own personal evolution and those around you. So an affirmation to say is like, my compassion serves my creative strength, which again goes with today. Be compassionate with yourself as you create, make your own music. And I would totally bring in Jophiel. It's a master day. He's the angelic being. He's totally online. The beauty of God resides within ourselves as well. So really recognize your own beauty and all the beauty that surrounds you and is encompassing you. It's everywhere, you know. The fall leaves are coming. The colors are crisp and infinite and magical. So the animal of the day, I know I did this a little backwards, but I'm going with the parrot. I don't know if I've done the parrot before, but the parrot says, take the time to understand views that are different from your own today. Most likely there is some validity there for you as well. So it's this symbolism. It's asking us to stay alert with new ideas that can bring about new growth or a new direction that's imminent for us. So the parrot, it's insisting that we need to pay attention. There are signs and omens around us. So with the spirit animal on your side, everything is possible right now. Therefore, it's the perfect time to go after your dreams, the dreams that you once thought or believed were out of reach. It also might be asking us to learn a new language skills. You know, Mercury's retrograde. I know my mouth is on reverse sometimes. But it could also be that our self-talk has been more negative than positive lately. So in other words, take the time to become aware of what you're saying to yourself. You know, I keep those thoughts and vibrations frequently. The mind, you know, the mind is a tool. It files things in our perspective channel. So you always want to reaffirm something that's more elevated in that thought processor that we all have. If you have the parrot totem or a spirit animal is a parrot, you're a natural diplomat. You're really great at mediating opposing forces into compromise and understanding. You have an innate knowledge of color. If you can imagine, you know, the beautiful different colors of parrots. So the color it's symbolic. It has healing powers. So this animal totem can naturally use color for healing purposes as well. And they do this with themselves and also with others. They know exactly when to speak and when to stay silent. So they rarely participate in gossip. Parrots are amazing, right? If you're to dream of a parrot, that's it's kind of mirroring that habits and characteristics and even actions that you're mirroring them. So they're not necessarily reflective of who you are, but it's an aspect that you're repeating cycles and patterns in your life, some of which might not be so positive. If the bird is flying, that represents someone who is a people pleaser without any real scrutiny. This type of person does everything as directed and believes everything without any real investigation. I always say to stay curious and question everything. If this bird is caged, it symbolizes the inability to integrate the lessons. So this would be the lessons that you see reflected through other people's words and actions. In some cases, it could also symbolize a person in your waking life, your day-to-day life, who is not just eccentric, but also obnoxious. It could also mean that you or someone close to you is being repetitive or mocking. Similar to the chicken, a chicken in a dream. So the bird can also represent the sharing of messages or the sharing of gossip. So you kind of need to think twice about repeating or sharing specific information. So ironically, you know, the energy of the parrot kind of goes with the energy of today. It's amazing how this stuff all comes together. But some affirmations to get you on your way. I know I said some with the different cards, but it's like releasing our feelings that might bubble up from the past, but also being mindful of them. Be compassionate. We have compassion at the end card. You know, all of the cards kind of feel into your pain body, address the feelings of pain, nurture them, let them go, right? They're a message, they're a memo. But, you know, an affirmation. I am self-confident and self-aware, taking my confidence out into my future with all of my relationships. So it's just self-expressing our inner confidence out into the outer world. So with all of that, thanks for joining me today. I know I was a little late, about an hour, but thanks for hopping on. And as always, enjoy your day. And my musing moon meditation will be ready soon.